Hi Stampin' friends! Tonight I'll be using the Measure of Love stamp set, and you may not imagine it, but this has a lot of different ways that you can use it. You can just stack up your cupcakes and use it as a like happy birthday sweet friend kind of thing, or you can also put the bowl on the scale, or you can just use the bowl with the little cherries and stuff in the bowl. And then of course there's these pretty, this might take a little more time to use because I think you would want to use the Stampin' Right markers to color each one differently to kind of create a nice pattern. This stamp actually coordinates kind of with this Pattern Party Designer Series paper. This is actually a Hostess product, so it's not just easily available. You have to choose it. But it is one of those huge packs with a ton of paper in it. The whole back side of it, it has black papers. I think we might have looked at this previously, but the whole back side is different black papers, and then the whole front side is colored papers. So it has a lot of variety and different things that you can use in your card making. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's see here. There we are. So the first way that I started on a card was I used these Designer Series papers, and I just kind of added some, I just kind of made it where they would just kind of line up, maybe be on top of each other. So this is just a normal size card that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then what I did was, 5 1/2 this way. And then I cut this just a tiny bit smaller so that I could layer those on top of each other. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that using my Stampin' Seal. And you can see that the back side of this paper, which is a kind of a baby floral, on the back side of it is a kind of a random polka dot, almost an out of this world type polka dot, like stars in a way. And then I'm going to put that here. Trying to get it lined up evenly. Okay, and then the top, the back side is kind of some sketched circles. So that's kind of how that looks. And to me, this kind of looks like an old, like mid-century modern kitchen wallpaper is kind of what it looks like to me. So then I'm just trying to line this up on here. And you could certainly put this on dimensionals, but for this I was kind of going for just sticking it down because I'm going to use this layer here in the center. This is Granny Apple Green, which is one of the colors that's in this paper. So I thought that would be cute there. I've gone ahead and stamped this these cupcakes in kind of a matching color. And then I thought it could be nice to put ribbon around, pool party ribbon around this, this here. So let me hunt that. Here we go. So what I'm going to do here is just cut the ribbon. Then I'm going to use some mini glue dots. Try to center it up on the back. This will take me a minute to try and kind of, sometimes you have to spend a little time just to get it just like you want it. I'll scoot that up just a bit. There we go. Keep it there in the center. And then wrap that around. So I've tried to center it as best I can. And then I'm just ready to go ahead and add some adhesive. Go ahead and put a little over these so that they do not come up. There we are. And then I'm just ready to kind of center this onto the card base. I've made it just a tiny smidge larger than wider, I guess you'd say, than the papers that it's going onto, just so that there won't be any chance that it's going to hang off the edges. So there you can see that. Then I'm ready to place this onto this. So I've gone ahead and colored this because I was like, I left some things to color, but I thought I can't color everything. It has some adorable little shapes to do the stamping with. You can stamp, you can see here, you can stamp the icing on, and you can stamp the cupcake liner on, just like that. And you could, but you could also, if that's not your thing, you could also go ahead and just color them with your, I actually used Blushing Bride for my strawberry cupcakes, and I used Soft Suede for my chocolate cupcakes with Pool Party for my base. Okay, so then I was thinking that I would just put this on the side and then possibly just add a little bow made also out of the Pool Party. This is the Pool Party ribbon. It carried over. It is Pool Party nylon ribbon. So it's like, to me, it's almost like an organza though, because you can totally see through this ribbon. It is cutesy. And you can get your edges kind of just like you want them and make kind of a puffy bow, which I kind of always like. I just want to cut the edges, and then usually I cut the edges once and then I kind of look at it on the card and try to decide like if I'm going to enjoy that or if I think that I need to make it just a little bit smaller in places. So let me kind of look around at that. And then I also wanted to show you how I did some stamping here. Okay. I have done a thing, and you may not agree with me, but that's fine. Remember this big guy that's all in one piece from the mini Merry Messages? I've decided to cut this apart. So if you don't agree, just ignore what I'm saying here. But it is easier for me to cut these separately because the number of times that I'm going to need Be Strong, Be Brave, You've Got This is much, much less than the number of times I'm going to need to stamp Happy Birthday. So I decided it would be much easier to cut pieces this size, use this template, place my little piece in there, stamp my Happy Birthday, and I can do that over and over and over. Whereas it's difficult sometimes to get them just where you're trying to put them. So if this makes sense to you, I could do this in a number of colors and I would be able to stamp my Happy Birthday easily. So just in case, you probably totally understand what I'm saying, but just in case, I've just slipped the cut piece of Whisper White in here. I just used black to make it make more sense as I'm working with it. And because typically black is thicker than the other papers, so it should be easy to keep it attached. Now, one thing, this may not allow me to move this. So like it kind of scooted just a little scoochy bit, but you can see that I think that will make it a lot easier for me to use. So, you know, something to consider if you've been trying to decide how you're going to use this set exactly. All right, so that is that. So what I was thinking is I just put my Happy Birthday down here in the corner. Or I mean, there's a lot of places you could put it. You could work putting it right here. Maybe put another little edge down here. Maybe with the oval punch on the bottom. Like put a little bit of oval right down there. That could look really cute. So just a lot of choices with how you might want to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of finish up this card. I'm going to use a mini glue dot on the back side of my bow. Go and just kind of put it right there, even it up, and then I'm going to put dimensionals under my large layered scalloped layering circles layer. I did that in Pool Party. That is the card base color, so I thought that would be cute. This is kind of one of the more obscure sets that I really love from the catalog. Okay, so then I don't care. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I don't mind if my edge goes a little over the edge of those things. Some people don't care for that. So if you're one that doesn't care for that, just give it a tiny scooch this way and it will be totally fine. You can see the difference there. It's just kind of personal preference. And then I do like sometimes when the bow just kind of goes ahead and hops onto the edge of whatever I'm putting it on. You could also just put the bow directly on the edge here of your white. That could be pretty as well. Now, I cannot decide whether I want to put my happy birthday down here, let me see, like that, or if I want to put it down here. So it's kind of up to you. Just kind of have to just make your decision. I'm not one to put it on the actual scale because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I love these little cupcakes, so I'm happy that they included them. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a couple of glue dots, and I need to make sure where I've got it, on the top up by the happy so that I can attach it to the bottom of this right here, like that. And then you can use maybe a couple of little dimensionals down here on the bottom to then attach that to the card base so that it doesn't get away from you. Then maybe a couple little embellishments, and this would be a pretty much done card. All right, so next, I could show you how I did that, but it's really simple the way I just stamped it on there. I just used regular stamping, totally simple on that one. Then for this one, I used the back sides. I was kind of going for almost an Italian kind of a look on this one. I'm going to try to stamp this one for you. We'll see how it goes. I have a couple pieces of paper that I cut this size, and let me see if I can tell you what size that it is. It is 1, 2, 3 1/8 by, let's see here, 2 3/8. So then I'm just going to use my Memento ink, get it stamped nicely, and try to center it, which is always interesting. I'll probably do a crazy job, but there we are. And then it comes with this tiny, I'm hoping you can see this tiny little thing. And I was trying to decide how these used to work. Like you put it on and it's up at the top, like there's no weight at all. So then it goes all the way around to be maximum weight. So if we're going to say the saying, you more than measure up, I thought it probably belonged almost all the way around back up to the top. So that's how I chose where to put this, in case you're wondering what I was going for there. That's kind of what I was imagining. So I'm using real red. Typically when I see these, they seem like they're red. Let's see, and there is a little circle that you can use in the middle of the red to try and center it up on the black dot that you can see, whoopsie, down on the scale itself. Now that will lighten up as it dries, but you can see there how that looks. So then I was thinking I could probably use some of my, maybe a pool party and maybe a light smoky slate to do my scale. Now you could do this all in pool party or whatever you think looks good. I was just kind of going to make this look like a little bit of aluminum or silver at the top. So I'm just coloring this really quickly, not trying to do the best job ever. Just adding the light smoky slate. And then I thought I would color that the same. And if you wanted to make it look super shiny, you could go in with some Wink of Stella and add some shine right over the top of the smoky slate, which you could do the same with the pool party too. That would be totally fine. And then I'm just going to use pool party for around the circle. I'm going to leave the circle white, of course, and just use pool party as if it is painted like an enamel pool party color. Also looks like, if you notice that as I'm doing this, it's starting to look like maybe I'm not blending very well. that may be that it's about time for me to get another dark pool party marker, which I'd have to get the whole set, which is fine, because I think I probably use pool party as much as any color, if not more, so that may be my problem with that. Okay, so now that I've got that added, I'm ready to just layer it on something. Well, I'm not quite ready. It's not quite right. Let me see here. It needs to be just a wee bit smaller. This way. Didn't quite do my math. Let's see here. See if I like that better. Oh yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to add my adhesive. Oops. Just kind of don't press it down quite yet and kind of scooch it to get it more like you want it. Okay, then I have a black card base, and then I have a buffalo check or a gingham check and a black and white stripe. So I'm just going to go ahead and put those on here. I kind of thought the white at the bottom, I couldn't decide for certain which I liked, but I kind of think the white at the bottom. You can see this really cute colors of not exactly rainbow because they're not exactly in rainbow order, but little hearts. Those are super cute on the back side of the black stripe. So I'm just kind of lining that up there. And then the same with the black gingham check. Just kind of lining it up at the top and putting it the same distance on the three sides. And then I know I've made it large enough that it should be fine to overlap on the sides there, if that makes sense. So then I'm imagining putting the card together. And so of course I want to put either I could put pool party cardstock on here on my in-between and then put a red bow on it. Or I could also just put pool party ribbon. The only thing with this pool party ribbon, it's a little bit, it kind of fades. I don't know if you noticed that. It's a little hard to see. So probably what I'll do is use the red ribbon. This ribbon is the, gosh, I have forgotten. And it's so funny, they've stopped putting the names of the ribbon. It's a satin. I think it's double stitched satin or it's just satin. So I will put that across there and then probably just add a tie. Put that right on there. One good thing about these stripes, it makes it easy to line up your ribbon, or the gingham, either one. Makes it easy to line up your ribbon and make sure you've gotten it on there straight. Now I've kind of let that come up a little bit, so I might want to check it before I stick it down completely. Get it right in the right place. So there we go. Then I think I'm going to add some dimensionals on here. And I usually put a dimensional either kind of on or right by the edge of the ribbon so that it stays stuck right there. There you can see. Kind of using a lot of dimensionals. It probably wouldn't take that many, but I like to make things pretty secure. I'm going to turn around this way so that I don't put it on wrong. I'm mounting this on a card base that opens top to bottom. And when I'm finished, if I feel like one side is a little too big, I can always just put it in a cutter and just cut off this edge that seems a little bit too large. So you can open it up and use the big cutter, you know, like a big paper, the one that we sell, or like this one, I just used well, I'm gonna have to cut that with scissors. I did a bad job. This one is one that is actually Stampin' Up, but it's just not available anymore. I like to have it handy because it's easy to use it while I'm doing a Facebook Live. So I'm kind of just trying to give you ideas on these, not necessarily tell you exactly how to do every single thing. So, All right, so then I'm imagining putting this on here. Then I was thinking that I could use my Stamparatus again. And what I have here are a couple of extra pieces. I have the stamp that says, "Our friendship tips the scale." And then I have the other sentiment that says, "You measure up. You more than measure up." So I had a little trouble getting these straight and keeping them in there. So we'll see how that goes. So maybe I shouldn't have cut this apart, but I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to get a lot more use if I do it this way. Certainly you can still do this even if you decide you don't want to cut that apart. That's still, this is just using the die and using the other stamps that you may have. So totally doable. Okay, I'm doing that. And I want to do a good job on this one because I don't think I could actually put it back later whenever I was done. So there you can see I've done, well, I didn't quite get you more than measure up, but our friendship tips the scale. You can see how that turned out nicely. And then my U didn't quite turn out, but I could fix that with a black marker. I don't know if you can, but I usually just fix it with a marker when it's like that. But what I thought would be cool is to put this on a little bit of red and add the, or maybe Pool Party might be better, and just put it on the top here and make the "Our friendship tips the scale" be like it's on the actual scale. I don't know. Did that make sense? Did I even say that right? Anyway, it's just some kind of little edging. Perhaps this, this little oval, just something around it just to kind of add to it. And then I did also want to put just a little tie on here. I just snip the ends just to add a little more color to this one. And then I would like to go ahead and add some more Pool Party somewhere on here, just some kind of a little bit of Pool Party. Possibly I may slide a bit of the paper under here, the cardstock under here, or maybe I'll add some color some pearls or color some rhinestones and put them up on the white. That would really pop. So that might be a cute thing to do. But also I'm putting a rhinestone right here in the corner, in the center, as if it's holding our little, gosh, what do you call those things? The little scale measuring thing, the spinner. That could be really cute as well. So this is my second idea with this set. And I think that you can see that you could come up with a lot more ideas. Just spend a little time. I mean, your infinite color combinations. It's just going to be a lot of fun to use. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and do this one. And my inspiration for the colors on this one was my own kitchen. So I used Daffodil Delight, Real Red, of course a healthy dose of white, and then I used, because my kitchen is kind of more of a brilliant blue, but I thought it would be pretty to go ahead and use the Misty Moonlight. And then I do need to cut this. Just one second, I got kind of carried away there on how large it is. Excuse me. I was thinking there like that. And then I layered this on the Just Jade. And I did not do a good job again. Weird of me. But I think I'm going to cut this piece first because I didn't quite stamp it in the right spot. I'm going to show you how I stamp this in just a second too. So you can see here, I just added some texture with this tiny cute little embossing folder, and then added these layers, and I think that will make a cutie pie little thing. And I think it could be cute to put your sentiment across the top, possibly the "You more than measure up," but I think I would want to stamp that in a red before I put that on there. Just something to consider. Just kind of make it fun. Or you could use the one that says "Sweet Friend." I think that could be really sweet on there. So let me show you how I stamp this. Make sure I have the right paper before I start. Okay. I inked up. First I used the outline stamp, which is just in Memento. Let's see here. Ooh, I hope I didn't over ink that. We will see what happens. Yeah, it's a little over inked. Let's see if I have another piece here. I think I do, yes. Try not to get quite so much on that. Let's see here. Okay, that's all right. And then for the fill-in part of my bowl, I used Daffodil Delight. And then I noticed I was having trouble getting it low enough. So I kind of made it for myself. I kind of said, okay, make it feel like you're stamping on the edge of the bottom. And that made it turn out where it's actually touching the bottom of the black. And then I did real red for both. And you might want to do your cherries in, I mean, of course, I guess the obvious choice is cherry cobbler, but you might want to do them in a pink. That would be gorgeous with the other colors in the designer series paper that matches this. That could be really cute. So I'm just trying to line this up. And I did a terrible job, of course. I got those a little bit to the right. So this might be a situation, again, for your Stamparatus, but I was using it on the other one, so I didn't want to just constantly do that. So there is that. You could also, if you wanted to, just color in your circles with a real red marker. That could be super cute as well. And then now it's time to add my cherries. So again, I'm just trying to almost feel like I'm stamping on the edge. Oh, and I didn't get them quite close enough. You know, if you have that problem, or if you have some that are not filled in, you can often take a blender pen or a Stampin' Blends marker and just kind of put those down, and then they will be touching the bowl. Have you all done that before? Okay, this I was not being careful and I kind of got crazy, but you can just make it go down and then it's touching the bowl, just using a blender pen, and that's taken care of. Okay, and then this is the part that just really kind of makes me giggle because it is so cute to put these now again, if you were matching the paper, you would use Granny Apple Green, but I used Just Jade because I was matching my kitchen. So then you just line up your little stems. And again, if your stems, I did one kind of crazy, you're just gonna wanna go in with a Just Jade pen. Pretend this is Just Jade, I don't think. No, I'm not seeing it immediately. Fun. I gotta love when I do that. Anyway, you can just extend it down and you'll have it where it meets the cherries. So then you won't have a problem there. So that is how you stamp that. It's pretty simple. Just whether or not you're going to be, I guess, what am I, nervous? I don't know. But anyway, kind of messed that up just a little bit. Okay. So then, once you've got this done, what I think would really make this look super cute is some of the gingham ribbon. And this is, I believe, actually in Bumblebee, but I feel like I think it looks just great with the, well, pretty much with any yellow, maybe not with a saffron, might be too dark, but it just looks great with this paper. So I'm imagining putting it across the bottom and then tying a cute little bow across as well. And then, of course, you know how when you're making things and putting your embellishments on, it's wonderful to use a triangle in threes, just put a little like here, here, and here, or where, wherever you put them, just to finish out the triangle. Like let's say you automatically had one here and here, well then put one up here or somewhere to create a triangle, because apparently our eyes enjoy seeing triangles. So that's kind of fun. So I will have this completed and put on my blog for next week. I'll make it, a little neater and straighten it up, because a lot of what I'm doing here is just kind of brainstorming on fun ways that you can use these cards. They're not necessarily ready to be used in a class. It's more just, here are some ways that you can use it. And then I would love it if you guys have any of these sets that I've used anytime, that if you would post what card you've made at the bottom of the set once I've used it, because I would love to see what you're doing with it. Because yeah, and then I could say, oh, love it. Thanks for sharing. Because yeah, that would be super fun. So we made this card. Then we made the little scale card with your friendship tips the scale. And first we made the happy birthday with the little cupcakes that are so cute with the matching paper. And this is the ones that come in the stamp. So you could make this look right here with the stamps that are in this set. Again, the Measure of Love is what, oops, got a lid there, sorry. The Measure of Love stamp set. So I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. And thank you to those who gave their lives for our freedom for Memorial Day, and blessings to you and yours. Bye-bye.